And we have this saying at home, we have a big department store called John Lewis. You have to look a certain way to get a job there. And we just think, great, you employ everyone that looks like that. We'll have the rest. And that works really well for us because they're turning people away with coloured hair or facial piercings or lots of tattoos. Why? I think if you think that you're really right and what you believe is right, then you just think everyone else is an idiot.
안녕하세요. 최정원의 사고실험입니다. 오늘도 정말 특별하고 아주 브라이트하신 분을 모셨습니다. 아마 한 번쯤 이 브랜드의 제품을 써보시거나 또 향을 맡아보시거나 이 브랜드가 부는 에너지에 놀라셨던 경험이 있으실 거라고 생각하는데요. 글로벌한 코스메틱 브랜드 러쉬의 공동창업자 로에나 버드님이 사고실험을 찾아주셨습니다. 로에나님을 모시고 러쉬의 특별한 어떤 문화나 역사에 대해서 들어보는 시간 가져보도록 하겠습니다. So let me introduce you, Miss Rowena Bird, the co-founder of Lush.
Lovely, thank you.
So how do you feel?
Well, it's lovely to be here. And today is just beautiful. Sunshine, nice crisp and cold, -6.
Yeah, and really, I love your hair. And
oh, thank you.
It's really lushy.
Yeah, and it's a pink Lush shampoo. I had it created for me about 6-7 years ago.
Really?
And I've used it ever since. Yeah.
You created it.
Yeah, one of the guys at work made it for me. And then when we launched Barbie, we did a Barbie collab. Mm-hmm. And then we've done the Snow Fairy. And so I thought we should have the shampoo with that. So I've given my shampoo to the world.
Well, thank you for your generosity. Can I ask you about the purpose of this visit to Korea?
Mm-hmm. So we've come to remind all the people that work at Lush Korea about the history of Lush and why we're here and what we do.
So it's kind of an annual,
No, it's not. It's something we started since the pandemic because everything went very quiet in the pandemic. And because we weren't working in the shops, people seemed to forget what it was we did. So we decided, we'll do a remind meeting. Let's remind everybody what we're all about.
And I'm really impressed about that reminding because preserving culture is really important for any organization, but especially when the co-founder fly all over the world. Why do you think it is important that not delegating your job to other people, but you do it by your own?
Well, there's 6 co-founders. I'm the one that loves to travel. Everyone else likes to stay home. So I'm happy to come out. I do think that for people to meet a founder makes it very much more real. It gives it that family feeling. So today they've been able to meet myself as a co-founder and Christina as the president of South Korea. So we're real. It's not this big person at the other end who knows nothing about what you do. I have worked on the shop floor. I've done pretty much every job in the business, including cleaning the toilets. So and it's nice to reassure people I'm not just sitting at a desk with my feet on it waiting for them to make me some money. I'm part of the business with them. I still invent products. I still travel around. I still say hello. I still work on the shop floor every Christmas usually. So I'm still very much involved with what they're doing.
So you really believe that kind of family culture is essential part of Lush?
Yeah, we really do. I mean, there's 6 co-founders and we've worked together for like 44 years or more. So Lush is 30 years old, but we've worked together 44. We always say we've got like 2 families. We've got our founder family and then we've got actual real family working in the business and coming up ready to take over as we retire. But we're not retiring anytime soon. We love it too much. I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have my Lush people.
I think this might be a kind of rude question, but...
Go for it.
Can I ask you about your exact age?
Yes, I'm 65.
And you're not going to retire for like 20 years?
Yeah, at least. Not while I still get to come to Korea anyway.
It's too late, but I should ask you about how do you define Lush?
I don't think you can define us. I use words like unusual and extraordinary. We're not in a box, we're out of the box. But not on purpose, it's because we're doing things that we believe in. The way we buy our raw materials. We don't buy from companies that do any animal testing, not just on our ingredient, but on any of them. That's not usual. We donate, almost 1% of our profits. That's also not usual. We believe in the efficacy of our product. So some companies sell dreams. And they'll tell you this is going to make you look 10 years younger in a week or even overnight just with one use. Whereas we think, no, we're going to give you really beautiful ingredients that Mother Nature has designed that really do something. So it's not about creating a dream. It's about creating something that works. Or we don't use packaging as well if we can avoid it. And we do a naked campaign every year. So that's important to us too, looking after the environment and making sure, lusher than we found it. So yeah, it is different and I love it. And as you can tell, I'm very passionate about what we do.
Yeah, I can see. And as you mentioned, you're 6 co-founders.
Yes.
Can I ask you some more question about the early days?
Yeah.
You started as a small beauty clinic in a town.
At the wrong end of the high street.
So I heard that you started working with your co-founders, not as a co-founder, but as a beauty therapist at first.
Yeah, that's how I started. We had a very small business. When I joined, there was I think 7. Me and Liz are beauty therapists. Mark's a trichologist, which is a hair and scalp expert. Mo was actually working at the law courts at the time, being a typist, but she ran making product. They made product in their kitchens. We made it in bulk. We had beauty rooms down in this little old part of town, which we're still in now. And we used to send off barrels to Body Shop. So yeah, it was a very humble beginning.
Yeah. And I can't imagine how 6 people could work over 30, 40 years.
I know. And not fall out.
And what creates that kind of bond? Really kind of a glue bond.
It is. And I would say to anybody starting a business, don't do it on your own. Find a team of people that can do different things to you, but have the same end vision. So if you all have the same vision, which we do, but each of us has a different skill, then we can appreciate each other's skills. None of us are better than the other one. We're just different. So there is still, there's debate among us. I mean, you don't have to find a whole team and be equal. We're not all equal in the team. Mark is definitely, he's the major shareholder. So if you're the one with the major idea, like Mark was, but you find people with you that are better at things than you are, that's always what we try and recommend people to do. Find people that complement you. Don't let your ego get in the way of your business.
You guys are not really egocentric people?
Not really. I mean, we all have an ego, obviously, but we leave them at home when we come to work.
I love the phrase. So you're ready to debate, but also agree and follow.
Exactly. It's no good if you always have to be the one that's right. Doesn't get you anywhere. In the long run, doesn't get you anywhere.
So when you started Lush, I guess it was quite different from now. The vision might be different and your brand identity might be different.
Actually, no, it's not that different. So our ethics that we started with, we made the Lush We Believe.
You started with the ethics.
We did, and we've never changed them. We've added one, which was about we believe in the freedom of movement. But the ethics that we have for the business of non-animal testing, treating people fairly, happy people making happy soap, long candlelit baths, the right to make mistakes and start again. All of those things, the whole essence or the heart of the company doesn't change. And I think that's quite something to celebrate because, normally you have to give up on different things. And we don't give up on anything. Yeah, there's no trade-offs.
Then at first, when you start Lush, what brings you the first success that people love so much?
I think when we started, we thought it will just have shops within London. So London is surrounded by a motorway, M25, and within that is, the Greater London. So we thought we're just going to have shops there. That'll be fine. And we opened our second shop in London on the King's Road, which at the time was the road to go down. That's where we started to get noticed by people on holiday. And they would come in and say, we want to take your brand to our country. We were like, no, just London. We don't know anything about doing business outside of the UK. But they were very persistent. And basically within a year, we were then opening in Canada and Croatia. And then would be 6 years later, we had Christina come over from Korea. We actually looked at altogether 8 different people wanted us in Korea. And Christina was the one we chose. So when we choose a partner, obviously we have to make sure they've got the money to do it. We have to make sure they've got some experience in business. But the most important thing is that actually we really love being with them, that we'd sit down and have dinner with them quite happily, that we feel like we could have a relationship. Because if you're going to do business with somebody, at least like them. and let them like you, and have a friendship in that as well. And we definitely found that in Christina's. So, Lush Korea opened 2002, 2003. I really love Korea and Korean people because I feel like, I mean, I know everything is a generalization, but you take something and then you K it, is what I say. It's like, so you took pop music and you made K-pop. You took beauty and you made K-beauty. And I feel like Lush has come to Korea and then you've K-Lushed it. You were the first country to just run everything on the app. We still had websites. Now, it's like, no, you can just do it all on an app. People love it. That's what they're working off. So, yeah, it's fascinating.
And I want to ask you something about your unique store experience. Yeah, I can remember the first day when I visit the store. It's like a really different universe. All the, fragrances, and the store managers kind of yelling. No, not they're yelling, but
Loud
energy.
and proud.
Yeah, loud and proud. So how do you come up with that kind of experience? And what makes your store so special?
Well, the people that work for us make it very special. So they're chosen very carefully. Because a lot of our products are naked, we're definitely a smelly shop, but smelly in a good way. So if you come in and you stand in the middle of the shop and you breathe in deep, you've just had a free aromatherapy session and you're very welcome. So I think if you're working with those beautiful oils every day, you're going to be great, aren't you? We knew at the beginning we wanted to be different on the high street. We wanted to create theatre. We wanted people to come in. We want it to be an oasis of kindness because it doesn't matter who you are. It's a safe place to be. And the people that come to work for us often come because of that as well. They feel safe there. So we have all sorts of people. And we have this saying at home, we have a big department store called John Lewis and Marks and Spencer's. You have to look a certain way to get a job there. And we just think, great, you employ everyone that looks like that. We'll have the rest. and that works really well for us because they're turning people away with coloured hair or facial piercings or lots of tattoos. Why? It's the inside that matters, not how you look on the outside. So, and that's what it's all about. All are welcome always is very important to Lush.
People usually ignore minorities or underrepresented communities, but when you take each piece, each community, and make it whole, it's quite big. Yeah.
I know, and isn't that wonderful? And it's so much more interesting, isn't it? Yeah. And that's what we're all about, is like being interesting. And we have our doors open. Come in and have some fun and work with us.
I think we should cover something about your environmental approaches. Nowadays, ESG kind of things are on the buzz. People do care about them, but 30 years ago?
No.
At that moment, nobody think you're pioneers. You're just weird people.
Yeah.
Really, how does it feel to believe something
That no one else does.
that no one else does?
Well, I think if you think that you're really right and what you believe is right, then you just think everyone else is an idiot. So you carry on. It's as simple as that. There's a lot of idiots in the world. But, you've got to carry on with what you believe. We believe that packaging should be recycled and recyclable. So that's what we make it. You bring your packaging back to us and we'll give you money back. It's about finding that way when you know that something is important. Find a way to make other people realize it's important too. It's a slow job, and sometimes you just want to pull your hair out because you think, oh, can't you see? Why aren't you listening? Why aren't you reading? Yeah, you can get frustrated that it's not moving fast enough. Then think about how you can do something different then to make it right.
So nowadays there are many like indie and new brands that comes with the concept of environmental, something good for nature, whatever, but that concept doesn't make them really last for 30 years. So what's the most essential ingredient to the organization?
I think it does come back again to passion. If you haven't got passion, if you're just creating a business because you want to create it and then sell it on and make a lot of money, which is what a lot of indie brands are doing, that's fine. And that's a way of doing business, and good luck. You probably make a lot of money if you've got a great idea and can get that across. But if you're wanting to make a business that is successful and has a long life, do something that you're passionate about. Whenever they're starting up a brand, it's hard work and it takes a lot of your time. And if you really love it, you don't mind the time it takes. Yes, it will make you tired, but you don't mind because you're very passionate about it. You're going to keep going.
You mentioned about passion.
But most people could not contain their passion for like 30 years. In most part, they're diminishing as the time goes by. So what makes you to keep following your...
I do different jobs in the company. So when I started, I learned how to run the shop. I put all the systems into running a shop, hired people, worked out how I wanted the shop to be, the theatre, Then I started to open the shop. So I didn't work on the shop floor anymore, but I opened them.
Looking
and I
for the
employed people.
locations.
Yeah, looking for different locations, finding the people, going, putting the stock on the shelves, working with everybody as we get the shop, and then waving them goodbye as they went to it. And then I've worked in the mail order department where I've made sure that all the parcels are getting out and they're going. And then that's a completely different job and a way of thinking. And then I've worked in the partner countries where I'm traveling around and finding new partners and new countries to open and opening their shops with them and seeing the joy on their faces and seeing new people coming into our shops and thinking, wow, where's this coming from? And then I've worked in the buying team where we've gone out and looked for raw materials, where we've gone and visited the farmers and the growers. And now I'm looking at problem solving in the company. It's sort of like, this isn't working quite so well. What can we do about it? Oh, let me go and have a look. And then speaking to different people and pulling them all together and working out a plan to change different things. So throughout the years, I haven't done the same job. I've done different jobs. And the nice thing about Lush is we encourage you to change your job. People move from, they go from retail into manufacturing, and then they start making the product instead of just selling it. So when you just think, do you know, I've had enough now of the shop floor, I'm worn out by that. Please, what else can I do in the company? And we always offer any jobs within the company are offered to people in the company first, because you never know who you're going to find. That's what keeps my passion alive, is the fact that I move to different areas and work with different people in the business.
Maybe we can think about that 21 years old Rowena Bird who joined the Constantly Weird Clinic as a beauty therapist. Now you know more about the world as she does. What is the most valuable lessons that you learned?
I mean, I've done it. So I would say to myself, say yes to every opportunity you get given, even if you think you can't do it. Say yes. All through my life, when somebody has said, Ro, will you do this? It's like, yeah, okay. I'll give it a go. I haven't enjoyed everything, and there's some things I will definitely not be doing again, but I will have a go. Don't think I can't do that. And that's the important thing. Have a go. Don't ever think I can't do that. Think, how can I do that?
And your answer reminds me that in the early part of this interview, you mentioned about we believe in statement. One paragraph of that we believe in, worm candlelit
baths.
Candlelit baths.
We believe in long candlelit baths and the right to make mistakes and start again.
So you do think people can make mistakes, and because
we're all human, and humans make mistakes regularly.
So maybe if you share personal mistakes that you made and how also you earn resilience.
I didn't make a mistake on the man I married, so that's lucky. But I've made a mistake on some boyfriends, I can tell you. But with each one comes a learning curve, doesn't it? All I can say is that you have the right to make a mistake and start again. It's not the end. Hopefully, it's not the end of the world. When you make a mistake, you can find a way to carry on. I always think to myself, when I do something and I think, oh, that was a mistake, there is not a big black hole suddenly going to appear in front of me and I'm going to fall in it and that's it, over. It's not going to happen. Life will still carry on. I'm still going to walk down this street. I'm still going to wake up tomorrow morning. I've still got another day to make that change. So whenever I'm upset with something I've done or made a mistake because I've argued with somebody and I shouldn't have done, or I didn't get all the facts before I did it, there's not a black hole. I'm not going to fall into it. Tomorrow is another day. I can start again. And you take it day by day.
It's really, touching. And I just want you to give some time to, brag.
Oh. Thank you very much. Do you think I haven't done any of that already?
Yeah, you did a lot, but there's something special product here. And it's one of your best-selling products.
Yes,
called Rose Argan Body Conditioner, which is named after you.
Yep.
And you made it. You created it. So maybe some audience or customers might be curious about, like, the co-founder uses the same product as we do. And what is kind of your bathing routine kind of that? And also, why is that time is so important in your life?
I think because it's me time, that's time where I'm not on my phone. And if somebody calls me, I can't hear it and I don't have to answer it because I'm in the bath or I'm in the shower. And I think that we should see showering as showering off the negativity, but showering on the positivity. So using a beautiful shower gel makes a difference to how you feel. You don't just come out thinking, yeah, I've had a shower, I'm just clean. No, you come out thinking, yeah, I've had a shower, I'm clean, but I've actually put something on. I've put the positivity on as well.
At the early part of our interview, I asked you about how do you define Lush. In my version, I can say that Lush makes you a better me.
Good. You're
You
very
like it?
welcome. I do like it. Thank you.
Maybe use me as a copywriter.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, I really appreciate that you share your time and not only wisdom, but your passion. Really, it transferred to me, like from you, and I can feel it. And I hope you enjoy this time.
Yes, I have. You've been my favorite. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. Thank you so much.
Mwah.